Hey everybody, welcome to Spotlight. My name is GiftTime Egbelu. We're here with University of South Carolina head coach, one of the winningest coaches in the SCRC, Mark Morris. Mark, thank you so much for making it onto the show. I want to start off right off the bat, just letting us know, what does the success from last year, how does that affect what you guys are doing for this year?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing for us is, winning the, the SCRC for the last 2 years. And these freshman class that I had come in back, 3 years ago or 4 years ago now, we lost to Tennessee in their freshman year, and they were runners-up in the SCRC. And then winning it 2 times. These guys are definitely set their sights on having a three-peat and having probably probably one of our best 4 years of rugby here at USC. So they really want to finish on a high note. Our goals as we set out the first of the season was to win the championship for the SCRC again, present ourselves in a position to be able to go to nationals if it works out logistically, and move into the spring, of course, and win the sevens championship for the CRC and go back to the CRCs and hopefully play for a title there, and not just compete in the CRC, but come out as one of the elite 4 or 5 teams in the country. We're always going to have a situation to playing against the likes of Life University and Davenport and Arkansas State, but we still feel like we can be in that upper echelon of teams, and that was what the kids want to do, and this is what the freshmen have their sights set on. And I know USA Rugby's got different thoughts about how we're holding the fall and the spring championships and stuff, but if it comes out that we have an opportunity to play in USA Nationals for 15s and 7s, and we've been trying to raise enough money to have it in our foundation to be able to go and participate this year, as opposed to letting money be a constraint about not being able to go. So we're going to play as many tournaments nationally as we can and see how we come out, because we have a lot of depth with all the freshmen that came in this year, and I have about 45 returning players to the team before we have the other 44 freshmen and walk-ons this season. The depth's going to be our advantage this year, where in the past we just did not have the depth to be able to close out the end of the season in the nationals. So right now, it looks real bright for us. Watching these kids play, last 2 scrimmages, all these really good freshman players, and some of the walk-ons and some of our reserves from last year went home and worked out all over the summer, and some of them come back. Some of them that came back this fall totally surprised me. We got some kids that are just in some great shape. I've got a couple players that, cut 50 to 100 pounds of their weight just to get down in condition and ready to play.
You guys are bringing back so many players this season. You guys have 20 of 23 starters returning. Who are you expecting to take the lead as a veteran for this returning squad?
Well, luckily for us, we had 2 captains last year. Tim Hamill, which was a junior last year, and he's one of the original freshmen from Downingtown. And of course, we graduated Zach Gorman, our big, tall second row that was such a dynamic player on the field and a really great, field general as far as keeping the guys motivated on the field. And both of them have their specialties about working with a team. But this year, with Tim being a repeat captain, we felt like instead of naming another captain, we had 3 or 4 guys that were all captain material, but me personally, I don't like to have more than two captains. I think it kind of muddies the water a little bit. So Tim's going to be the captain this year, but we have Mike Mahone, which is our number 8. He's our senior, real competitive player from New Jersey, from Fordham, and he's just a really hard-nosed runner, just defensively as he can be. I mean, the guy's just a beast on the field, and he'll be one of the leaders for the team that's going to help and mold the pack together a little bit. And helping him in the pack, which will be Dana Cochran, which was the SEC Player of the Year last year. And Dana, it's wherever he's going to play, I can't wait to see what he's going to do when he moves on after college and see what happens to him. But he's another person. It's just the work rate from the kid is just, if anybody can lead by doing an example, he's a person to watch because the guy never quits. And he's going to be another one of our team leaders. And then in the backs, to help Tim out, mold some of the backs and stuff, will be Michael Rosinski. Michael's another senior for us, and Michael's, out of the Mystic River Club area. His father's still a coach up there, and his little brother still plays. And Mystic River's doing some good things. I think they just combined with another team up there, but they played pretty competitively. I think they had a really great sevens program this summer. But Michael's been around rugby almost his entire life. His dad played, and he played in the Jewish Olympics with the Macabre team, and he's been exposed to a lot of upper level rugby, and he's a real good organizer, and he'll be helping Tim with the backs as being like another captain. So those 3 guys I didn't want to name 4 captains, but those 3 guys know they are the leadership of the team to help Tim out, to point us in the right direction. And luckily this year we've got kids, even on a couple of the juniors that are really going to, been around the program since they were here, that's just going to help push the program forward. Alex Smolin, he is another senior. I meant to say junior, but he's another senior that's been with me the whole time. So we still have a lot of leadership on the team. And even the freshman class, we have some really strong freshmen that have been playing at some high levels, with a lot of the kids from Gonzaga and Xavier and St. Joe's and stuff like that are going to step up. You can already tell it in practice, the ones that are directing other players when the freshmen were playing against like the B side and stuff. So you can see that natural leadership ability already in some of the freshmen. I think they're going to really step up throughout the season just because of their experience and people watching them play that know they're good players and know that they're there to help their teammates. And that's the whole thing about us. We're just one big club, and our goal is to take our A side to the top, and everybody has to buy into playing for the A side and waiting for their time to contribute to the team. And whether it's contributing by pushing the starters harder as playing as like a B or a C side player or even a D side player, it works all the way from the bottom up. The D's are pushing the C's and the C's are pushing the B's, and it just makes for more competition on the field that these guys to try a little bit harder, push themselves a little bit better, and as opposed to just continually just playing the game, we're in a situation to where now guys have to figure out that they have to be more students of the game to really, what can I do to be better or improve, as opposed to just trying harder. Because, this game is a thinking man's game. It's not just go out there and do what the coach says. We all know that once I get finished practice with them and they go on the field, it's pretty much them. I can't really control much after that. So, the ultimate game for them to make their own decisions while they're on the field, and we just try to give them the best scenarios to make those decisions in practice, and I can see people starting to make better decisions and playing to, retain the ball or keep the ball moving and stuff. So it's even coming in the short 2 weeks that we've had practice already.
Now, I know South Carolina has added scholarships into their program. Can you give us a little bit of elaboration on how the USC scholarship program for rugby is now works?
Well, for us, we were lucky. We knew a long time ago that any major sports program in the country. I don't care if we're talking about Division I football or rugby. There is either foundations or alumni or money behind all programs to be able to move the program forward. And we knew that we had to work with our alumni base, and we had to work more closely with the school to find every incentive to get the better athletes to come here to USC. The good thing for us is the university's done just amazing things on the academic side here in the last, I would say, 15 years have been really prolific. The new business school, the Darla Business School, #1 honors program in the country, #1 international business program for I don't know how many years in a row, 20, 25 or something. The Vistas is the downtown economic growth thing. They're in conjunction with the university, continue to bring more research and technology to the university, to where like you're comparing them to like the Triad area up there with NC State and those guys up there, Wake Forest and all that. So Dr. Pastides was just the president. He's just done phenomenal things to raise the level of academics at the school. The football team, the baseball team, the women's basketball team at Carolina, the ADs, Ray Tanner's gone out and continue to hire the best coaches in the country, with Steve Spurrier at football and Dawn Staley, the women's basketball coach, and of course, we had back-to-back national baseball championships. So the school's committed to try to raise the academic levels, raise the sports at the school, and by doing that, we felt like if we could combine the rugby team, even though we're a club sport, with our foundation and go back to our alumni and start raising money and try to work within the academic side of the school, which they want the best athletes they can get. And the proposal was that, if we could start doing some of the rugby scholarships, that we could start bringing some high caliber athletic kids in here, that we could start rewarding kids with tuition reduction or rugby scholarships, as you say, to the out-of-state students and bring some better players in here. So about 5 or 6 years ago, I started trying to work recruiting at some of the better high school programs throughout the mid-Atlantic states. And, the kids that are already high-performance academic-type players, and have them look at the university in a different light. We have about 75% of the team that come from New Jersey, New York, Maryland, Ohio, D.C. area, Virginia, and they like to come down here to go to school in the Southeast. And if I can get the better players and people are on the fringe of the scholarship program, if they can get into the university and get one of the smaller scholarships, then I'm able to either reward an incoming freshman with a bump and get him an extra $20,000-$30,000 over 4 years, so he's up around about. It's going to save a parent between about $55,000 to $60,000 over his 4 years here in tuition reduction, that scholarship. So first of all, the kid's got to qualify academically, and that's what the university wants. They want the kid that can do it. And once they can qualify for those, then I'm able to enhance that scholarship and take him from the one that's maybe only giving him maybe, say, $7,000 off of his tuition each year up to like $16,000 off of his tuition each year. So we can bump that up. And then the other good thing that we have, once a student is not a freshman and he's already an existing player on the team, if he is going to be a contributor to our team, as long as he maintains the requirements for the rugby scholarship, which is taking his full load, 15 hours and a 3.0 grade point average, he makes himself eligible for an award once he becomes a sophomore, a junior, or senior. And for the ones that are going to come here to school, maybe they didn't get a scholarship when they first got here, they worked hard for the first year, and they got their first year under the belt, and they got a 3.0 grade point average or better, and they're going to be contributors to the team, then I can reward them with a rugby scholarship in their sophomore year. And then, of course, then that tuition reduction starts, that year, and as long as they continue to perform, they'll have their scholarship. So, it's a good savings when you look at a parent now and you can say, hey, look, your son comes here, might not have a scholarship the first year, but he can prove that he's a player and he keeps his grades at a 3.0. Starting next year, I might be able to save you between $18,000-$20,000 a year off your out-of-state tuition, and that's a significant thing. So it's helped a lot of the students, take a different look, and you can tell now that we've got about 4 or 5 kids that we're looking at right now that'll be coming, when they play through this season, and we see that they're going to be sophomores next year that would possibly be eligible for those scholarships. And then, of course, we have about 4 or 5 incoming freshmen again that we're hoping to get there. We're hoping that by the end of about the 3rd year from now that the entire starting team will be on some type of scholarship if they're not already receiving an academic scholarship from the university. Luckily for us, if you look at our club, the existing club last year, about 67% of the players were already on some type of academic scholarship already. The team itself has the 2nd highest GPA on campus, and that includes all, sororities, fraternities, all NCAA Division I sports, any other active groups or clubs or intramurals on campus. We're the number 2 highest academic GPA on campus right now, which says a lot for the academics, for the school, for the team. So we're playing on that to get kids that want to have a great education, but they also want to play some great rugby, and it seems to be working out for us. Luckily, Jeff Smolka, which is a player from the 80s, felt like he wanted to give back to the team, and we couldn't be more happy with him and his family that's donated to set the endowments up for these scholarship programs, and donating the money to set the foothold so we can approach the university about giving these scholarships. So it's been a great thing for us since Jeff's come in and helped us. And Jeff himself, he's still giving back. He's the one who started high school rugby here in the state of South Carolina. He sits on the board of USA Rugby as far as they want to be advisors to Nigel Melville, and he continually gives back to rugby, and him giving back to the school where he played. We couldn't be more thankful to him and his family.
Coach, whenever people, hear South Carolina rugby, I know you have a lot of pride in it, but what do you want people to know whenever they see or hear South Carolina rugby?
Well, the biggest thing for me as someone that's involved with the team as a coach, one thing. Second thing for me is being an alumni of the team. And the third thing for me is all the people that have helped me over the past 10 years, mentored me and supported me to take the club and put the club on a competitive shelf with other clubs throughout the country to say, when we get to a CRC or we get to the Nationals and someone says, who is that? Well, that's South Carolina. Well, do they have a good team? Yeah, they're very competitive. They can play with anybody on any given day. And, well, I don't know much about the club. Well, the club's run by a great group of coaches. They have a great foundation. You can go look at their website. It's up to date every day. The coaches are all about, helping the kids be better rugby players and to be scholar athletes. Academics comes first for them, to help these kids graduate. Up and down, they have a great reputation as a rugby team. And on the field, they're all considered fair competitors. We don't have any stigmas attached to our team about being, dirty or anything like that. They all know that we're there. We love rugby. All the kids that play the game, and we play the game hard. And after the game, we're all there as rugby brothers together. But when the people from the outside, when you look at parents or you look at other people around the country that run other rugby programs or high school programs, the biggest compliment I get is, hey, I got a kid here at Connecticut, and he's wanting to come play rugby for USC, and all I hear is all the great things about how you're pushing the academics and the athletics or the competition level at the program and continuing to get better every year. I mean, that can't, that's my reward. Every time I hear a parent or another coach or high school coach when he's trying to have me look at a player saying, I've heard a lot of great things about your program, and, I got some players I want you to talk to. Or if I talk to some of the USA guys, hey, I hear y'all are doing some great things. Keep it up. You're trying to grow rugby in the U.S. That's all the rewards that I personally need, and the guys that help me. It'd be impossible with all the people that help coach with me. And one of the other biggest, Jimmy Farrar, my administrator, and you've met Jimmy before, the past SEC commissioner or SCRC commissioner and stuff, and been involved with high school rugby, collegiate rugby, USA rugby. There's no way we could run the club without his background, and of course Jeff Smokel with his generosity for the scholarship programs. But there's tons of people, our foundation and stuff. All these people all have one goal in mind: to make competitive rugby at the university foremost, and to be one of the most competitive teams in the country, and also have the smartest, best academic team in the country, because they're here to get an education, and we graduate kids that are coming out as All-Americans and kids that are graduating with really high GPAs and getting good jobs. More kids will want to come here and play.
Coach, I really do want to take this time to thank you for being on the show. Really appreciate it. I hope best of luck for you guys and everything that you guys have for this season.
Not anytime, Gift. We appreciate what you guys do. I mean, the kids love reading about the different programs, and I wish there was more people like you that would go, take the time to go around the country and go to tournaments and talk to coaches and try to promote the sport. So, we appreciate what you do, and, it means a lot, because these kids love to, they like to see what's going on and what the different publications think about what's happening and stuff like that, and provide some legitimacy for them. We're getting to a point now where the high school kids are be talking to you, and they'll be listening and looking at who's playing in college, and you can kind of start seeing they're getting to be able to read more and more about the programs and stuff, and then they're talking about wanting to come to certain programs. So that wouldn't be possible without you guys putting out these all these articles and stuff, and I just want to tell you appreciate that.
To catch more of our profiles of teams, you can check us on gifttimerugby.com, or like us on Facebook, facebook.com/gifttimerugby, or find us on Twitter @gifttimerugby. You guys have a great day. Cheers.